Beach FM kick-off sports breakfast show with HMC Kapiti, your local authorised Kia and Suzuki sales and service agent, and now your local AA Auto Centre. At HMC Kapiti, the journey just gets easier. Find out how easy online at hmckapiti.co.nz.
Welcome back to the Kickoff Sports Breakfast Show on Beach FM 106.3. Well, what a Super Rugby Aotearoa we have had in 2020. The last time we caught up with this man, it was only an idea. So let's welcome in, back to the show, the CEO of the Hurricanes. It's Avan Lee. G'day, Avan.
Sure, Damian. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you doing, mate?
Yep, pretty good. It's been an interesting week. But yeah, we're playing tomorrow, so we're happy.
Excellent, mate. Excellent. Well, yeah, last time we caught up, it was still an idea if this was even going to go ahead, whether we were going to have sport in New Zealand or let alone any Super Rugby competitions. So we did. It was awesome. What did you think?
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was, I think it was what the public even and our fans wanted was some live sport. The players loved it. It was pretty physical. Yes. It was sort of like an A&E ward every weekend at our place. But the boys love playing in it because it's like competitive. They get on so well with most of the teams and players. So yeah, it's a bloody challenge. It was challenging in terms of the regular nature of the derby games every single week. So yeah, it was awesome. The fans loved it. The people at home on TV watching it loved it. So it's been a massive success.
Absolutely, mate. Well, those local derbies, they do take a toll. I have talked to a lot of the boys throughout the season, and yes, they felt it every inch. But my question to you, mate, is does this balance the travel that went in, what would have went into this season? You know, the long legs to South Africa, Australia, and the others. You know, I mean, is this something that has actually been more beneficial to our players or different?
Yeah, I think, look, on the flip side, the amount of time players are spending away from home is less.
Yeah.
So that's a real bonus. You know, when you travel to South Africa, you tend to be, hot weather, hard fields, big South Africans. So that's not a cakewalk either. But you know, I do think the travel aspect is a positive. You know, guys are only spending one night away from home and their families, so that's definitely a good thing. But the physicality per game is, you know, it's immense, and a lot of the teams are not doing a normal week's training because, you know, Monday and Tuesday the players are still sore from the weekend. So, you know, I think it's incredibly combative sport, and when you've got guys of that size, speed, and strength whacking into each other for 80 minutes, it's not going to end well for everybody. So, yeah, it's great for the fans, but we always need to consider the players because without them we don't have sport. So it's important to consider that.
Yeah, well, if we add another team to the New Zealand conference, then it'd be equal. So we might have to add two teams to keep that bye rotation going.
Yeah, I mean, there's different models. If you're in the, you know, even in the Six Nations now, they have sort of rest weeks.
Yeah.
They'll play one game and then have a weekend off, or they play two games and then have 2 weekends off. So there's different options. I mean, you know, as the whole country is waiting to see where COVID goes, rugby is as well, and you know, it might be 8 to 10 teams, it might only be 5, but we've just got to plan for all of those scenarios.
That's the one. Hey, the competition did start with you know, we went down to the Blues and the Crusaders, but we came back and won every game since. So tell me, how do you feel about the way it was set up? Do you think a round robin worked for this competition, or would you have liked to seen, you know, at least the 4 teams that won a game playoff kind of thing?
Yeah, look, I think, you know, at the end of the day, we had a long break, and talking to some of the other teams, you know, it would have been nice to have another week of pre-season again. So that was one thing. I think before the tournament, I was certainly an advocate for a final, but now having seen the injuries across the board, I think the decision not to have a final was probably the right one, but it was for different reasons. I think There was something like, I heard the other day that the All Black selectors had 50 players in mind for the North-South fixture, and 13 won't be playing because of injury. So that's a pretty high percentage.
Absolutely. I will go back to the North-South a little bit later, my friend. Right,
Cool.
You have done a few signings this year, and some of those young talents that are going to take this jersey to a next level in the near future. Let's talk about some of those that you've already locked in for the future. Amor, Umaga Jensen, some of those players just don't even realise just how good they are just yet.
No, I think the thing about it is they've always had, buckets of talent, but now they're realising what it takes to be a professional rugby player. So,
Yes.
they're all, they're all stepping up. They're all showing leadership. They're all getting better with their habits, and that's what you're seeing on the field. It's just like all of us. It's maturing as you get older,
Absolutely.
but also realising that you are good enough. Like Peter's one that a year ago he hadn't really cracked it, and now he's starting every week, and just delighted for him really. He's playing at a very high level, and it won't be too long before the All Black selectors are interested in someone like him, because he's got all the skills. He's big, he's quick, he's tough, everything you want in a centre. So yeah, we're just delighted with those guys. Got a lot of guys coming through, at a similar age, 22, 23, and that bodes well for the future. And if you look at the 2016 team, there was a big group of guys that came through for 4 or 5 years, and that was one of the key reasons why we won that first title. So yeah, it's pretty exciting to see all those young players, and Ben Castle and Jason Holland doing all the work around signing these guys. It's pretty exciting.
Absolutely, mate. Well, yes, I got the Facebook memories over the last week of that glorious weekend 4 years ago. Good times. Yeah. Good times.
Yeah,
hey, there's another player I want to talk about, not just young anymore, but he will be set to become the most capped forward this weekend. One of Kapi's favourite sons, Dane Coles. What can you tell us about that man? When we talk to him, he's just always so great. But what does he mean to the Hurricane setup?
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about it a little bit lately, because Cole's getting older, and he's so important to the Hurricanes, and he's so well respected by everybody around the place. From management to all the players, fans and members. So yeah, he's massive. I think he's the epitome of what a Hurricane is, in terms of just his attitudes. He's all about team first. You wouldn't know he was a senior All Black. He just wants to be one of the boys. So yeah, he's a good person. He's clearly been brought up well on the coast, and I'm sure he'll be living back up there in a few years, and he's very proud of where he's from. He's never lost that, which I think is massive. And another thing that I like about Colesy is he's still got his mates from school and stuff. So when you sort of make it, I reckon that's a good test. Is the person still the same? And I think that's absolutely true with Colesy.
Absolutely, mate. Well said. Hey, it is recently we celebrated the 25 seasons of the Hurricanes, but next year will be 25 years of Super Rugby and the Hurricanes franchise itself. Question, more of a request than a question, but any chance of bringing back a retro cotton fit jersey that's about 2 sizes too big for what you wear it for?
Yeah, we started working with Adidas in terms of our 2022 jersey, and because the timelines are like that. But we have looked for inspiration from earlier jerseys. So yeah, history. We don't have a lot of history, but we do have some, and I think it's important to acknowledge that, and more importantly, the people that were involved back then. So another one of your Kapiti Coast gents, Mr. Cullen. He was around last weekend in the sheds, which was awesome post game. So yeah, it's important to acknowledge your past, and our alumni is really important.
Absolutely, mate. Hurricane. Yep. Yes. Cully, the Paikaka Express. Right.
Yes.
Last question that I've got for you, and it's not a Hurricanes related one. On August the 29th, all eyes would be set on Eden Park for a North-South game. Should we move that now?
Yes, I would have thought so. Wellington would be a good venue.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, mate, it's difficult because at the moment people from Auckland can't leave Auckland.
Yeah.
Unless it's for essential reasons. And I think if they were able to, then the Blues Crusaders game would have been played somewhere else, maybe Dunedin. But I think it's an interesting selection process they've gone through to make it north-south. I think in hindsight, I think it probably should have been a possibles All Black trial, but it will be a really important fixture for the All Blacks, and hopefully this whole COVID situation settles down in New Zealand and we can watch some high-quality international rugby later in the year.
Absolutely, mate. Well, thank you so much for your time today, mate. Go well. Enjoy the last weekend of Super Rugby, and all the best with whatever you guys get behind next.
All right, mate. Enjoy the show.